What's going on, champ? Welcome back to the program. Hope everything is going well for you.
Thanks for having me back.
Well, first and foremost, man, I want to congratulate you on your win, man. Obviously, you just picked up another win over the last couple of days, and you improve. Uh, we watched that fight, common opponent with Robert Mayweather Jr., and we actually had him on the show uh, to talk about that particular matchup, man. What was your thoughts on your last fight, and how would you grade that performance?
Well, a great friend of mine said that it was a A, and he never lied to me. So I'm gonna give it an A as well because that's how much faith I have in him.
Okay, so you felt that was an A performance. What about it made you feel like this was an A level performance? And what do you think separated you from what Robert Merriweather was able to do to that particular opponent?
Well, the first thing that separated me from what Robert Mayweather did was I stopped him. I knocked him out, and they say that it's hard to knock a Mexican out, and I did that with little effort as far as trying to knock him out because I told myself I'm not gonna force it no more. So the things that I did good that really stood out to me in the fight is I executed the game plan of my trainers. There was a fight where I pretty much jumped the gun a little too fast, and I kind of burned myself out. So that's something that we was working on. I stayed composed. My defense, even though I'm not gonna say that they didn't like it, they I can't tell you what they thought about it. I had to watch the fight again, but it was impenetrable, and it worked right for me that night. He was a guy that was 6'2". He wanted to keep me on the outside and box, and I took away his distance. That's another thing. So there's a lot of great things that I did that night.
How awkward would you say that opponent was? And on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the toughest, how tough was that opponent for you?
How tough was the opponent? Man, first of all, I fought at 135. I'm a 130-pound fighter, so I can't really tell you how tough it was because I'm not really familiar with the 135-pound fighters and how strong and stuff like that they are. But as far as being awkward, it's always awkward to fight somebody that's 6'2" when you're only 5'8". So I give it on a scale. I give it probably the awkwardness. It was an 8, and as far as how easy it was, I'm not in a position to say. I guess I always make things look easy.
Now, you said it. You moved up in weight for this fight. You've never fought this high. I mean, the highest you've gotten from what I've seen was 132, and this fight was at the 135 limit. Was that a concern for you? And tell us exactly why did this fight take place at the lightweight limit instead of your normal fight weight of 130?
Well, the reason that this fight took place at 135 is because I have a great team behind me, and one of the lead dogs on my team is Ernesto Rodriguez. He just had got a world champion in Tierra Brown. Shout out to him and shout out to the DMV. Shout out to UTR. So he knows how to move a fighter the right way, and we didn't want any. They call them ducks. I'm starting to call them poo butts. We didn't want anybody that's gonna get in there and lay down. We wanted somebody that's gonna put up a fight and somebody that's gonna give us a lot of resistance. Somebody that's gonna come in there and try to win. There's a lot of people out here that they just want to look good on Instagram. They want to take nice pictures. They want to post nice videos, and they don't really want to compete for a spot at the top. And I really want to compete, so that's why this fight happened. I believe this fight made me better, and I believe it's gonna make me better for the next fight to come.
Before taking this particular matchup, were you able to watch tape, or did any of that not matter in the decision making of taking that scrap?
I was able to watch tape. I actually watched him versus Merriweather, but it really didn't help me out because I'm not Merriweather. I'm a completely different type of fighter. So yeah.
What you think of that final blow? Obviously, the one that put him down, scored you the knockdown, overhand right. How'd you set that up?
I ripped the body the whole fight. He's a guy that's 6'2". I understood that he had a little bit of awkward herky jerk head movement, but unfortunately he couldn't move his body the same way. So I locked in on a body, and I knew that it became a point where the only thing he wanted to do was protect his body. So I knew that if I just kept digging and digging, he was gonna slip up. And balling is universal, hand down, man down.
Now, they call me messy, man, but just because I like to ask what people think, and so I had Robert on, asked him what he think of your performance. He still felt he had the better performance because he had less time to prepare. You had a full camp, um, and he feels you got hit more than him. Do you think you got hit more, or do you think that was because you were fighting the type of fight that led to a knockout?
I was fighting a type of fight that led to a knockout. I'm not scared to engage in battle. They say everybody's a shooter until bullets start flying back. So I don't get startled when bullets start flying back. I'm going to execute the game plan, and I'm going to do exactly what I did to 8 other opponents every time. People come to see knockouts. Come to see blood. They come to see you put on a show. The whole Mayweather era of being a defensive fighter and getting out of the way and winning on points, that's over with. I mean, there's some people that do it fairly well, like Shakir. He does it fairly well. I'll sit there and watch that because he's a master at it. But everything else, that's over with.
For sure. What do you think Shakur does the best? What's he best at?
Shakir is best at hitting and not getting hit, hands down. Right now in the game, he's the best at hitting and not getting hit. And I don't want to really answer too many questions because I'm not trying to get messy or slip up. But that's what
Yeah.
he's the best at.
Nah, for sure, for sure, for sure. I got a couple questions from the people though. First one is from Octo. That he says, "Yo, champ, what's your favorite candy? And tell us a fun fact about yourself."
My favorite candy. I like Twix, to be honest. I don't know why. I just like Twix. And a favorite fun fact about myself is that I can't tell you that. I don't know. I'm into dogs. I like American bullies. So
Okay.
yeah, we got a lot of American bullies, and we got a whole American bully business that's about to kick off. So that's
All
a fun
right.
fact about myself. Nice dogs. Purebred, state of the art. That's a fun
So,
fact about.
so you're breeding them,
It's a family business. That's all I can tell you. It's a
and you
family
don't
business.
mind. You don't mind like having to go through the pregnancy because I got two English bulldogs. I
Oh, hold
never
on,
even.
let me tell you this one story. So I get home from training one night, right? Just I'm in training camp. I get home. My dad calls me. He's like, "Yo, man, get over here. The dog is shooting puppies out." Nobody ever knew the dog was pregnant. I was just yelling at the dog to get off the couch. I'm like, "You lying?" He's like, "Man, come over right now." I hang up the phone. He calls me back on FaceTime, but the dog just shooting puppies out. Nobody knew the dog was pregnant. So I'm sitting on YouTube trying to look up videos of how to deliver a puppy in the middle of a dog having puppies.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's an
So
experience, man.
everything worked out safely.
We have 2 boys right now. The other two, unfortunately, didn't make it. However, it was a wake up call. It was a reality call. So the next time that happens, we'll know what to do. And like I just say, it's one of those things where you live and you learn. So we definitely learn from that.
For sure, for sure. So, what got you into bullies outside of breeding? What drew you to that particular dog?
It's just a nice dog. They come in all shapes and sizes. You have your miniatures, you have your exotics, you have your XLs. I wanted an XL, but I'm not about to spend more money on the dog food than I spend for myself. So we left the XLs alone. And yeah, like I said, I don't want to answer too much, but Beneficent Kennels, you should definitely be on the lookout for that in the future.
We got Donald in Baton Rouge. He says, if you get a call from Jake or Turkey Al-Sheikh, who who are who would you pick up for?
Jake or Turkey, man. Turkey got that money. Yeah, he got that money over there. Jake, I don't really knock what he's doing. He's putting women's boxing back on the spot, and he's also entertaining. A lot of these fighters, they can fight hands down. They're good fighters, but they aren't really entertaining, and everybody loves the show. So when I sit down and I watch Jake, he puts on the show. So maybe not
Absolutely.
the last one with Mike Tyson, and I was a little mad at that, but he definitely puts on the show. He's just starting out, just like any other boxer.
Next one here. Ali and Dago in the 619 says, Francis, who are your top 3 favorite fighters of all time?
Of all time. So in no order, my top 3 fighters of all time is no order. Like I said, Mayweather, Canelo, and Sugar Ray.
I got Mizzy got swag. If you had to choose to keep a permanent accent, would you rather have a Louisiana, Baltimore, or Toronto accent?
Dang, that's tough.
Damn, did he say Toronto because you part from France or something?
Nah, I'm not from France, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I want a Baltimore accent either. No shade. I don't think I want that. And then Baton Rouge, that's like Boosie and all of them. I guess I gotta go Canada. I got
Oh, Canada.
yeah. I guess I gotta go Canada, man.
For sure. Next one is from Ron from the Bay Area. What is one challenging workout or drill that you incorporate in your training camp?
Swimming, like swimming is tough, man. Then like I just hopped out there. I'm like, I'm not about to be in no kiddie pool. I'm with the 6 feet at. So I hopped out there, learning how to swim, try to swim in 6 feet, and it's not really hard until you get to the middle of that pool and you gotta make it across. And the lifeguard's looking at you and you ain't trying to cause a scene. So swimming is the hardest thing that I implemented, and now I kind of love it. You know what I mean? I've seen the results pay off.
Now, we hear a lot of fighters talk about swimming. How does that directly affect you with stamina, if any?
I think it's more of a mental thing. It lets you know that you got that stamina, you know, and lets you know that no matter how tired you are, you can still move your arms and your legs. Because when you're swimming, you tired, but at the end of the day, you still got to make it to the other side of that pool. So just moving, breathing, and not even thinking about it. That's how it helps.
Yo, when you said you still got to make it to the other side of the pool, why it felt like I was listening to the dude from X-Men, Gambit. Yo, I heard the accent right there. I don't know if it was because the previous question, but I ain't never heard the accent till right now. I heard that X-Men character like I guarantee. I said, oh shit. I got Quest from Virginia. Salute, champ. Could you start bench cut these boxers? Okay, I guess he meant something else here. Champ, could you start or bench cut these boxers? Keyshawn Davis, Tank, and Loma. I guess who starts, who gets benched?
Oh, dang. Start bench.
That's crazy. That's tough.
Start bench cut. I'm a cut Loma just because Loma don't want to fight no more. So if you don't want to fight no more, then you know you shouldn't even be in there. So I'm gonna cut him because he's ready to go home anyway. Starting bench. Next question.
Too close to home. Talk trends. Can you speak on how you can get a scholarship for boxing?
There's a few colleges that have boxing teams. For the ones that I know off the top of my head is the one that I went to, and I got a scholarship from Glenville State University. You just kind of look it up online and see if they have a boxing program, and once you do that, you reach out to the coach, or the coaches will reach out to you. You get in there and you fight. Like I know my old college, Glenville State University, they were just fighting at Maryland University on the 19th, and I couldn't make it, but it's big. It's definitely big.
And they go down as amateur fights?
Yeah, they go down as amateur fights. So it's just pretty much like USA boxing. You're going around, you still going to school, and you boxing. Boxing is back.
That's dope, man. That is amazing to get a scholarship for something you love on that level. That was
and there's people getting scholarships playing video games. And I just learned that out. They call it like esports teams, and they getting scholarships. Yeah. It's a lot of scholarships out there. So if boxing is something that you love, all you gotta do is hit them coaches up, and they looking for people that want to come there and box. Shout out to Glenville State University. Look that one up for sure. Everybody that's watching.
Bones 13, Fort Worth, Texas. Do you get in? Do you get it in before a fight? Only asking because Bud said he does, and doesn't matter if you do or don't. And obviously, he's talking sex before a fight.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I stay away. Like I know some people say it don't work, or some people say it do work. I stay away from that because I'm not trying. I'm not trying to mess up. I don't really got too many chances. So if they say it don't work, it don't work. And I trust Muhammad Ali. So
Nice.
yeah, I trust
Why
Muhammad
why
Ali.
why why try to figure it out during a live
Yeah,
fight,
right.
man? That don't sound safe. We got Dom in the OKC. Salute. If you can make 3 fantasy fights for yourself with any current boxers, what matchups would it be?
I can't throw no names out there, but the ones that's gonna bring in the most money. So every one of those that's over $1 million. That's my fantasy fight. If we could do
Sure.
that tomorrow,
I got
because
Johnny from the Hangout spot checking in. Congrats on your recent victory, champ. It's common for fans to compare young fighters to accomplished fighters. For someone who's never seen you fight, what fighter or fighters would you say you resemble stylistically?
stylistically, I resemble. You can look at me and see some of your favorite fighters of all time. I can't just name one person. I'm a I'm a guy that has all of the tools. I'm an all around boxer. If somebody wants to fight me, I'm going to box. If somebody wants to box me, I'm going to fight. If they want to sit back and counter punch, I'm gonna put my punches together and let the hand speed go. If they want to hit me hard, then I do it all. For every situation, I got the answer to, and it's not a lot of fighters that can do that. Everybody out here, not everybody, but most of them out here are one dimensional. So you just gotta watch me and see what fighters you're gonna see in me that night.
Toledo Treese didn't know that this was a one-all fight, so he says you've moved to 135 with guys like Kermel, Evan Brady, Robert Mayweather, Sean Garcia, and the Vargas brothers. Who would you say is the quote-unquote money fight?
Hey, listen, I can't talk about no money fights because ain't no money on the table. But once we get those offers for those money fights, then I talk about it all day long.
But
But until then,
you don't have a name out of those names who you think would be the bigger fight, or you?
I got a name. Absolutely, I got a name. But I'm not gonna jinx it. You like a girl, you bring her to around your friends and stuff like that. You don't want to say her name until it's official, or something might happen.
Nah,
So
I hear that, man. I hear that.
yeah.
So, how fast you think you want to get back in the ring? How much time you think you need off? Was that a tough fight where you want to take some time off?
It wasn't a fight that did any damage to my body at all, honestly. And that was at 135. I'm ready to get back in there next month, but unfortunately, I know that's not gonna happen. So I'm gearing up to get back to go in June or July on one of those. But this is all I do, man. All I do is box. It's something that I love. So I'm ready to go at any given moment. I'm ready to go.
Being from the area, did you ever spar Lamont, and did you ever think he would look as good as he did? And obviously, did you think he won that? Did you think he deserved the win in that fight?
I never really sparred Lamont. Lamont's always been around. It's somebody that I've seen growing up. But for some reason, we never really been in a ring with each other to spar or anything like that. And I did think he looked fairly well. And I definitely feel like he did enough to pull it off. However, I understand just from being an amateur that it's politics in this. And I don't think that's going anywhere. The politics in the sport. So I don't know how the politics work. But I say that next time around, it's going to be a clear separation between the winner and the loser.
So to be clear, you want to be back out June or July?
Yeah, June and July.
All right.
Absolutely.
And as of now, you don't have any ties with any promoters, right?
I'm signed to ProBox
Okay.
TV. So I'm
Oh,
officially
perfect.
signed to ProBox TV. My promoter is Daniel Rubin. Shout out to him. And I told him like, look, man, Daniel, you did your homework, and you just drafted Tom Brady. Of course, I'm not a person that everybody knows right away, but they will. They absolutely will. And now know everybody out of Hillcrest Boxing Gym.
How long ago did you sign, and how long is the how many fights?
I just signed.
So that was the first fight?
Yeah, I just signed in February.
Nice.
So that was the first fight, and we got a couple more to go. So ProBox is definitely treating me well. ProBox is the place to be. ProBox TV is taking over, whether you want to believe it or not. And if you pay attention, because I know you're into boxing, it's a lot of fighters from different places fighting on ProBox's platform,
Oh yeah.
which everybody ignores. But ProBox is it.
For sure. They keep you active, man, and they if you can fight, they gonna put you in position. We seen what they did with Angelo Leo. He became a world champion. Lamont became a world champion. Their matchmaking is good. They're on the road, so if you can draw, they'll come to your hometown. Has there been any talks of potentially you hosting a hometown fight in this deal with ProBox?
Not yet. Like I'm the new kid on the block,
For
so
sure.
pretty much I'm trying to get in and prove myself that I am who I say I am. And I think that with this knockout that just happened, I pretty much let them know a little bit more. But it's the first time, so I'm pretty sure everybody's not convinced on around the table. So I'm gonna do it again. June, July, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, no, I think you made a statement with that particular opponent. He's a tall, awkward guy, decent fighter. And, getting the stoppage on Pro Box certainly made a statement. Common opponent with Mayweather, so it gets us talking, man. We certainly appreciate you taking out the time and coming on the show. We want to keep getting you on. So the minute you get an announcement, let me know, or let Ernesto to let me know. Tell Ernesto to let me know, and we'll get you back on. Those were all the questions. Please give out your social media if anybody that isn't following you can do so.
Shout out to God. All glory be to God. My social media is Francois Scarboro Jr. And shout out to Scarboro Nation, man. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to my mom and all. I can't even hear myself, but
You said you
hello.
can't hear yourself.
All right, I couldn't hear you. What are you saying?
Oh, no, I was talking to someone in the studio
All
there.
right, yeah. Shout out to everybody that's supporting me along this journey, and it's only a matter of time before we take it over.
All right, champ, man. I'm going to get with you. I'm going to see, can I get my guy in the gym? Maybe we get some footage so that the YouTube channel can see you and your grind. You put it in the gym.
For sure, man. Anytime. Just hit us up. We're not hard to find.
I appreciate you, champ. Keep grinding. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Francis Scarboro Jr. Great